Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Before this video starts, I'd like to ask you guys two things. Please consider liking this video, and the second thing is, please consider subscribing to my channel. Now, I was going to make a video on the specific winter storm that was going to be occurring across the plains in the south, or I would say the middle south areas. And okay, so these areas would be getting over a foot of snow. Sorry for the interruptions, because I keep looking outside to see whether it's snowing, and it's starting to snow, so I'm kind of excited here. So sorry for if I make any interruptions from the microphone, but this snowstorm was going to be occurring across Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, and it was going to leave up to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 inches of snow in some areas. It was a massive snowstorm that was forecasted to slam many cities, major cities. However, I am sad to inform the snow lovers in the South, or in Virginia, in Kansas, in Missouri, any of those states that I'll show you in a minute, the snow will probably not hit you nearly as hard as forecasted to. So, I'll just get right into it. So, I'll just do a general video on the general pattern, not a certain storm. There will be a storm in about a week, about half a week on Sunday night into Monday. There's going to be a storm across the northern plains and the Midwest, and that storm I'll probably do an individual video on. However, as of now, let's just do a pattern update. I'll also show you guys the temperatures, so let's get right into it. You can see this is the first little wave. There is a low up here spinning down. There's a low right here spinning also up, so it's bringing the winds to converge, and that forms a frontal genesis little front, and that sounds a little bit funny, but it brings some of the snow into the air. As you can see, it strengthens once it moves out, but doesn't strengthen it too much. But that's a key factor in pulling in this low for these states. And you can see that, I mean, there will be some snow. Like, I'm not going to lie. Why would I lie to you anyways? There's going to be snow, and there's going to be several inches of it, maybe up to 3-4 inches in some spots. But this was much more filled in areas that you're seeing right here. Except now it's just dissipated, so it looks as if potentially up to 6 inches in the most areas. But the other key thing we'll need to watch for is this storm right here, which is the same thing that just is pushed off. This could move a little bit farther to the east. Or to the west, and if that does, then I will bring heavy snow to the northeast. As of now, it's off the coast. However, that could definitely change. So this is the storm I was talking about that I'll probably do a separate video. If you live in northwest Iowa, I know there's a couple of individuals that ask me, will there be strong winds in Iowa? Well, if you're watching this now, with this system, yes, on Monday, April 9th, 2018, you could have some stronger winds with this. Nothing too terrible, I don't think, but some snow and some stronger winds. So you can see that passes through, nothing much, couple of inches laid down. And afterwards, you can see it warms up because there's rain, but there's still, on the backside of these storms, there's still a lot of snow. And this snow can lead to quite a bit of disruption, so I'll probably still do a couple of videos on that, those type of storms. And again, severe weather will probably be another factor with this. And look, another spring storm, mushroom cloud, the stalk and the head, that you know that is a very strong system. And look at that, 985, 980, guys, that is a very strong low. And if you live in northwest Iowa, and this storm were actually to occur, then you would be seeing insanely strong winds with this. So just saying to stay tuned to my channel or just your local forecast and beware on what's to come. You can see there's a cold front passing through right here, so we could have some snow with that. And in general, this pattern is going to remain quite active, and it doesn't seem as if the cold air will stay along for too long, the major cold air. However, the warm air could have some brief interruptions across the east, which it comes through. But overall, I think it will be a colder pattern. There could be some warm. Let's just rewind this back. So I'm looking at the temperature anomaly right now, and this is the GFS. So the temperature anomaly tells you what states or what area in the state is going to be seeing is it going to be seeing above or below average temperatures? And you could see that for much right now, you could see anywhere right now in this current situation, the southwest and west would be above average, and the east would be below average temperatures. And you can see the southwest bakes in hot temperatures. However, the east just stays locked in this pattern. More snowstorms, more cold airs, and this is what I mean, that sometimes the warm air breaks through, just kind of comes through, brings some warm air in. I know that this day I'll be looking forward to April 14th if it does happen, some warm air finally across the country. However, that doesn't last long. Look at that, guys. Another cold air blast, another warm air blast, and another cold air blast. And just the cold air stays there for a little bit longer. But again, it does look as if the pattern will slightly moderate. However, it doesn't look like if it will be any extreme for any warm temperatures that are extremely warm for the eastern half of the nation. For the southwest, yes, don't get me wrong, I think they'll be seeing really hot temperatures, and the southwest. But the northern half of the country does not seem to be, winter just doesn't want to leave. And this is what happens in April. You get cold air masses and you get warm air masses. They fight it out. And as of now, it looks as if the cold air mass will dominate for the next week strongly across the northeast. Then it will moderate, and it could come back a little bit stronger. So this is just a little bit not too good news for the warm weather lovers that live in the northeast, or just the north in general, because that could bring some cold air to the below average temperatures. And this is also something I'll need to mention out, guys. Just because there is below average temperatures marked by blue does not mean that it's going to be below freezing. Say your average is 60 in Cincinnati, and it is 10 degrees below average. That is going to make it 50, which is still considered cold for that time of the year. However, that's not below 32 degrees. So just because you see these colors doesn't mean there's going to be frost. Now let's go to the actual temperatures and see that's what it translates to. Mainly 30s and some upper 20s below average temperatures in mid-April. So let's rewind this back. Anywhere you see the blue that is below freezing, the darker it gets, the more below freezing it is. So you could see the warm air tries jumping up during the day, but the cold air just is relentless and does not want to go. The southwest, I mean, look at these temperatures. 96 in the southwest near the Mexican border. And then right here, Maine, 29. Look at that extreme. That is fairly nice. And you don't even need to go that far. Look, Nebraska, 60. Minneapolis, 30. So that's 30-degree difference. And you can see the warm air fights strongly right here. I mean, it's fighting like a champ, trying to get in. You can see it brings in 60s, 70s for a lot of the areas that have been in the cold. However, the cold air is relentless, does not give up. And look at that, 32-degree line is somewhere in Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, and it's April 20th. I don't think I've ever experienced such a late winter. I remember a couple years ago, there was this system that brought a couple of snowflakes in April, and that was April 1st. And I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever had snow this late. And guess what now? It's April 5th or 4th, I keep forgetting, or even 6th. And guess what? We're receiving 1 to 2 inches of snow. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, April snowstorms aren't uncommon. However, it's not as common as it would be in winter, and it definitely hasn't happened here for the past several years. So when the cold actually was wanted by people, wasn't there. Winter was moderate here in Chicago, but now the spring is definitely colder. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'd also like to show you the snow totals for the next 240 hours. You can see a lot of snow in the Dakotas where they need the snow a lot. But again, the south just shriveled up with the snow amounts. Nothing much. Like I mentioned, possibly up to 6 inches. That's 13. I don't think will happen. Maybe somewhere in the mountains, which this does show in the mountains. But nothing too major. This is the NAM. Again, even less. You could see some pockets of up to 2-3 inches of snow. Nothing like it was compared to several days ago where this whole swath was filled in with 3 to 12 inches of snow. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. See you guys on the next episode.